Hello everyone. Welcome to the expert lecture series conducted by SDSC SHAR Sriharikota as a part of World Space Week celebrations. This year we seek to celebrate women's contribution in the field of space. Today we have with us Srimati K. Sangeeta, a senior scientist at Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR Sriharikota. She has completed her bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and master's degree in environmental engineering. She worked at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, ISRO from 2004 to 2007 and has been working in SDSC SHAR from 2008 onwards. She has expertise in the field of space ordnance, igniter, pyrotechnics and solid propellants. She has designed igniters for critical missions like RH-560, Chandrayaan. She is having 17 years of expertise in the field of solid propulsion. She has extensively worked and contributed in solid rocket propellant processing for all launch vehicles in ISRO, including PSLV, GSLV Mark III, and has been a part of Mangalyaan and Chandrayaan 2. She is currently involved in solid rocket motor processing of SSLV and Gaganyaan projects and is also the project manager of SPAG Solid Propellant Processing Augmentation Project. She was a recipient of Young Scientist Award in the year 2011. She is an executive member of HIMSI SHAR Chennai chapter, executive member of IICH Sriharikota chapter and lifetime member of ISSC. On this note, I extend my warm welcome to Sangeeta ma'am for today's program.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. It's my pleasure to deliver this lecture as a part of World Space Week celebration 2021 by Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR Sriharikota. Today, let us have a brief insight into solid propulsion and its application in launch vehicle. To start with, let us know why is space exploration required? Why spend such vast sums of money on space exploration and missions to far distance where most people will never go? The answer is, human being is curious to understand Mother Nature. Human space exploration helps to address fundamental questions about our place in the universe and the history of our solar system. Through addressing the challenges related to human space exploration, we expand technology, create new industries, and helps to foster a peaceful connection with other nations. The next question comes to, how to explore the space? The tool for the space exploration is spacecraft. Then, how to send the spacecraft to space? The carrier vehicle for the spacecraft is called launch vehicle. Let us see the components of launch vehicles. There are three major components in launch vehicles. It includes propulsion system, which generates thrust for liftoff and maneuvering. Control system, which controls the launch vehicle to reach the intended orbit. The orbit may be transfer orbit, low Earth orbit or geosynchronous orbit, which depends upon the mission requirement. Spacecraft, host of tools such as camera, antenna, sensors, etc. What is propulsion system? Propulsion is the action or process of pushing or pulling to drive an object forward. Here our object is spacecraft. Most spacecraft today are propelled by forcing the gas from the rear of the vehicle at very high speed through a nozzle. Propulsion system can be classified into two major categories. One is chemical propulsion and the other one is non-chemical propulsion. Chemical propulsion further classified into solids, liquids, cryo and hybrid. All components of cryogenic liquids are liquefied gases that are kept in their liquid state at very low temperature. Hybrid is nothing but combination of solid, liquid and cryogenic components. Non-chemical propulsion is further classified into ionic propulsion. It is a form of electrical propulsion used in space application. Solar sail. It is a revolutionary way of propelling the spacecraft. It has large reflective sails that capture the momentum of light from the sun and use that momentum to push the spacecraft forward. Nuclear propulsion use some form of nuclear reaction as their primary power source. Let us move on to our core topic. Every system has its own merits and demerits. Solid propulsion also has it. Based on the mission requirement, system will be chosen. The merits of the solid propulsions are high operability. It can be stored several months before use. Since it has no movable part, it has high reliability. Compared to storable and cryo systems, solid system requires less volume because of its high density. It is easy to achieve large thrust level. The demerits of the solid propulsions are, it releases harmful exhaust when it is burnt. It offers low performance when compared to cryogenic and liquid. There is no stop and start ability and it cannot be throttled. It is very difficult to dispose the remaining and rejected solid propellant. Generally, pit burning cutting methods are used which are very hazardous in nature. How the solid rocket motor works? Solid propellant is burnt to produce large amount of gases. Large amount of gases build pressure inside chamber adiabatically. When the high pressure and high temperature gases escape through the nozzle, they include huge velocity to gases and generate thrust. Thrust is the force that moves the rocket through the space. Thrust is generated by propulsion system through Newton's third law. That is, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. A gas is generated out of the rear of the rocket engine nozzle and the rocket is accelerated in opposite direction. The picture shows the equation for the thrust generated and the factors influencing it. The reaction force is the sum of momentum thrust and the pressure thrust. Let us now see how the solid propellant produces large amount of gas. The propellant is loaded inside the combustion chamber where it burns on ignition by the igniter. The heterogeneous propellant contains mixture of oxidizer, fuel, additives, while decomposing releases gaseous product. Oxidizer is the main component of solid propellant because solid motor requires large amount of air. The atmospheric oxygen is not sufficient to produce enough oxygen. So, own oxygen for reliant combustion is used. Fuel which generates energy and the additives like binder, lubricating agents, anti-aging agents and burn rate modifiers are added to improve the performance of the solid propellant. Let us see the typical solid energetics of the ISRO. Sounding rockets which used for atmospheric studies, booster motors. The initial stage of the vehicle is called booster motor and it is operated first. The special purpose motors, retro motor to aid collision free separation, allege motor to aid positive acceleration before liquid stage ignition. The crew module escape system uses sudden removal of crew module from the vehicle in case of exigencies. It includes low altitude escape motor, high altitude escape motor and jettisoning motor, etc. Space capsule recovery experiment slowdown also uses space propellant. Igniter. It induces the combustion reaction in a controllable and predictable manner and pyrocharges. The picture shows the development of solid rocket motor in earlier days. In earlier days of ISRO, rocket parts were often transported on bicycles and bullock carts. In 1963, sounding rockets from Tumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station were fired, marking the start of upper atmospheric research in India. In 1980, indigenous sounding rockets named Rohini was subsequently developed. In 1980s, parallelly, augmented satellite launch vehicle was being developed based on SLV-3 to launch satellites into geosynchronous orbit. In 1990s, PSLV enabled India to launch all of its low Earth orbit satellites. In 1994, geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle with indigenous cryo was initiated. In 2014, GSLV Mark III was introduced and presently in 2022, we are ready for the human mission using human-rated GSLV Mark III launch vehicle. In similar way, for comparison, I have shown the evolution of launch vehicles in world scenario. Now, let us see challenges faced during evolution. First one is energetic materials, the oxidizer. Usually, the oxidizer should have high oxygen content and high heat of formation. The oxidizer should be compatible with the other ingredients. Nitrates and perchlorates are better oxidizers compared to nitrites and chlorides. Fuels, The fuel binder is a liquid which on solidification binds the dispersed oxidizer and metallic powder together. This fuel oxidizer mixture on ignition reacts and is transformed into combustion gases. Binders are typically cross-linked polymers. A major advancement occurs when metallic fuel like aluminium is added to the mixture to give high energy. The next challenge faced on case materials. The solid motor consists of a case made of high strength steel or fiber reinforced plastic. The case has to withstand the high temperature up to 3000 degrees Celsius. The motor case not only contains the propellant grain but also serves as a highly loaded pressure vessel. Booster motor preferably uses steel case because the practical difficulty in making large composite cases. Example, 15 CD V6 and maraging steel. The composite case is preferred for upper stage motors due to weight reduction and special design. Example, glass fiber reinforced plastic and Kevlar fiber reinforced plastic. The selection of the case material is very important. The criteria for material selections are the high strength, high stiffness, low density, fabrication easiness with respect to formability and weld efficiency, fracture toughness, resistance to stress corrosion. Then the challenges faced during grain design. The grain is the shaped mass processed solid propellant inside the rocket motor. The propellant material and geometrical configuration of the grain determines the motor performance. The change of burning surface area with the time has strong influence on the chamber pressure and the thrust. Based on the above requirement, grain shall be classified into freestanding grain, example is igniter, case bonded monolithic grain, example is single segment grain, case bonded and segmented grain, example S200, S139 segmented grains. The shape of the grain depends on the pressure versus time requirement. Usually the star, tubular and deep star grain is used. Let us move on to the challenges faced during nozzle evolution. The purpose of nozzle is to expand and accelerate the combustion gases produced by the propellant so that the gases exit the nozzle at hypersonic velocity. If the pressure of the exhaust leaving the nozzle exit is above ambient pressure, then it is called underexpanded nozzle. If the exhaust is below ambient pressure, then it is called overexpanded nozzle. If the exhaust is equal to the ambient, it is ideally expanded. If the exit pressure is less than 40% of ambient, then the flow separation occurs, causes instabilities and engine destruction. Hence, the nozzle design is very critical in solid motor development. The ratio between the throat area and exit area is mainly determines how efficiently the expansion of gases is converted into exhaust velocity, thus the thrust of the rocket engine. The shape of the nozzle also affects the efficiency. Generally, cone, bell and parabolic shaped nozzles are used. It has to withstand the severe environment of high heat transfer and erosion. Hence, the ablative liners are designed to protect the metallic housings. Let us see the challenges faced during safety issues. Since the solid propellant ingredients are hazardous, toxic in nature, it is extremely dangerous to handle them. Enough care and attention must be provided while handling them. Since oxidizer is present as a part of the system, it is difficult to put out fire, explosion in case of exigencies. Hence, A, B, C of safety first approach demands safety attitude, safety behavior and safety culture. Let us see few examples of such accidents. On May 1988, a fire followed by several explosions occurred at Pepcon chemical plant at Nevada. The disaster caused 2 fatalities and 372 injuries. Pepcon was one of the only 2 American producers of ammonium perchlorate, an oxidizer used in solid propellant rocket. Welding torch used to repair the steel frame caused a fire that spread rapidly in the fiber case, accelerated by nearby ammonium perchlorate residue. On August 4, recently in 2020, a large amount of ammonium nitrate stored at the port of Beirut, Lebanon, exploded causing 218 deaths and 7,000 injuries. On April 17, 1947, a cargo ship loaded with 1,000 tons of ammonium nitrate suddenly exploded in port, demolishing much of the Texas city. The total number of deaths ranged from 400 to 1,200. 4,000 injuries were reported. Firefighters who were available on the scene proceeded to douse the fire with water as they were unaware that dangerous chemicals were stored on the site, thereby setting in motion series of more violent reactions. Mainly, all these accidents happened in logistic place where hazardous, flammable, corrosive, toxic oxidizer substances were handled. The other solid energetic applications includes airbag, the day-to-day life what we see in our cars. The inflation system of an airbag uses a solid propellant and an igniter. The airbag's inflation system reacts sodium acide with potassium nitrate to produce nitrogen gas. Hot blast of the nitrogen inflates the airbag. Flares, a flare also called fuse, is a type of pyrotechnic that produces a bright light or intense heat without an explosion. Flares are used for distress signaling, illumination or defensive countermeasure in civilian and military application. Pilot ejection system. In aircraft, an ejector seat is a system designed to rescue a pilot or any other crew member in an emergency. In most design, seat is propelled out by an explosive charge or by a rocket motor. Anti-hail, cloud seeding rockets. Cloud seeding is a type of weather modification that aims to change the amount or type of precipitation by dispersing the substances in air that serve as cloud condensation, which alters the microphysical processes within the cloud. These chemicals may be dispersed by aircraft or devices located on the ground such as rockets. When released from the ground, the fine particles are carried forward and downward and upward by air current after release. Solid propellant fire extinguishers. It works based on the airbag technology. Solid propellant combustion produces non-toxic gases which is used as the suppression agents, mainly used in non-occupied spaces like aircraft dry bag, engine compartments. Emergency escape system from submarines. It enables free ascent from stricken submarine and provides extensive protection from the submariner on reaching the surface until rescued. Solid propellant is used in gas-inflated single-seat life raft. Missiles. Air-to-air missiles, ballistic missile, intercontinental ballistic missile, that is ICBMs, uses solid propulsion. Ammunition. Ammunition is the material fired, scattered, dropped or detonated from any weapon. Example, bombs and grenades. Lot of research work is going on the field of solid propulsion, which results in elimination of some of the difficulties faced earlier. One such example is nozzleless motor. Unlike conventional nozzle motors, nozzleless propulsion system attempts to perform the main task of nozzle inside the grain port itself, thereby saving the weight of the nozzle, which can be replaced by additional propellant. Hybrid motor. It's a rocket that uses rocket propellant in two different phases. One is solid and the other one either gas or liquid. It avoids the dangers of the solid propellant handling as well as mechanical complexity of liquid rockets. The third one is throttleable motor. Innovative throttleable motor developed by combining two different technologies for use as thrusters for mass surface landing vehicles. Electrically controlled extinguishable solid propellant, that is ESP, can be utilized in an on-command thrust commandable motor by controlling the nozzle throat area. This mechanism is called pintle. The pintle can be translated in and out of the throat, causing the annular throat area to decrease or increase the thrust capability. The fourth one is the start and stop ability. More advanced solid rocket motors can be throttled and also be extinguished and then reignited by controlling the nozzle geometry or through the vent ports. Further, pulse rocket motors that burn in segments and that can be ignited on command are available. Green propellant. To reduce the air pollution during rocket launches, much research has been done to develop space propellants that are environment friendly and contribute towards non-toxic propellants. One such example is hydroxyammonium nitrate, the HAN monopropellant, which is a blend of fuel and oxidizer, offers more advantage than conventional ones. High density energetics. Rocket engines employ high energy density materials as fuels. It offers high specific impulse, low production cost and less sensitivity to impact. For these application, cage compounds with a severely strained molecular structure looks promising. With this, I come to an end of my presentation, and my dear viewers, I close my lecture with a quote. Try to understand who you are and what you want to do, and don't be afraid to go down that road and do whatever it takes, and work hard as you have to work to achieve that. Thank you for listening. Jai Hind.